With 31 million YouTube channels, 24 people, and your mama occasionally choose Sir Talks-A-Lot for their entertainment. This is News! Hello and welcome to News. In this episode, the Abraham Accords. But first, in personal news, I generally have no idea what's going on. And Murray don't got time for your crap. The announcement of the Abraham Accords brings a new hope for peace and new worries of violence. One opponent of the Accords was reported as saying, "This is a stupid idea and not something to be joked about." News disagrees. It's definitely worth joking about, and you need to stop being ignorant. Others are calling this a treasonous act as severe as the Oslo Accords. Because peace for the sake of peace is treasonous to the dung pile of the "what about me" mindset of the Palestinian leadership. As the third Israeli-Arab treaty, the Abraham Accords are the latest push for peace in the Middle East. Detailed in the Accords are plans to expand relations between Israel and its Palestinian neighbors. Will this lead to backyard barbecues and weekend beers? News doesn't think so. The Palestinians and Israel have been disputing each other's right to exist since the Palestinians decided they exist. The Accords hope to set grounds for open travel, commerce, and alliance between the UAE and Israel. Israel and the Emirates have had a long-standing closed-door relationship over the years, and this move simply brings those relations to an official standing. Brainless Biden claims this is the result of his hard work years ago. News wonders, does he sniff other people to get rid of the smell of the shit he is so full of? The Accords detail a plan to suspend the annexation of Palestinian land by Israel on the West Bank and other surrounding lands. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has stated that he is still planning to regain Israel's lands and to regain sovereignty as a nation. To translate that for the common folk, Netanyahu said, "I do what I want, just not always when I want." Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, says that the move is in interest of a bilateral relationship and peace. In response, PLO leadership, Iran, and Hamas were reported as saying, "Ree!" A rough translation of these comments states, "This is an affront to the Arab Peace Initiative, a stab in the back of Palestinians, and is against the establishment of an independent Palestinian state." News says blah, blah, blah. This move is a major plus for the Trump administration, with credit being given by both the Crown Prince and Netanyahu, and some calling for the president to receive a Nobel Prize. News says, why not? He can add it to his other 3 million awards and move on. Many are hailing this as the greatest movement to peace in our lifetime. Others say, will the Accords hold? Will there be peace in the Middle East? News hopes so. Hamas, being a radical band of murderous morons, might strike out against this measure with extreme response. Like a confused bully who isn't sure if he hates his victims because daddy said they're trash, or himself because he's such a sissy. Hamas would rather see every Jewish person eradicated than see peace come with the compromise of their delusions of grandeur. The same delusions held by the Runs. I'm sorry, Iran. Many individuals within the Sunni Arab state are calling Iran a bigger threat than Israel has ever been. News says, welcome to reality. Iran wants to eradicate everyone, but only if they get nuclear weapons as a prize for being the biggest prick in the region. Because they're cowards who hide behind terror organizations to feel important when everyone knows they're scared little babies. News thinks Biden would give them a nuke in exchange for some snooter time with a little girl.
Your soul smells delicious.
And Harris would add the stipulation that she gets to push the button. Another problem facing the Accords is the fact that Netanyahu has already made it very clear that the annexation will continue in the future. Since opposition comes from all sides, get ready for the repeat Israeli hit, Netanyahu does what he wants. News asks, with anti-Semitism being the biggest standard in the world's elite, what could go wrong? I'm sure Biden would be fine playing popularity games, so if he wins, we can guarantee Holocaust 2.0. But this reporter's honest opinion is that Trump will try to keep the peace. He's going to stick with Israel, which is the right choice. However, the road to peace is a razor edge, and it waits to cut all those not worthy
into thick slices of bacon, ready to be fried. Bacon.
Religious zealots say, the end is nigh. News says, calm down and take your lithium. The deciding factor in this is simple. If Hamas hates it, it's gotta be good. Subscribe if you laughed. See the articles in the description for more details. And don't trust masked strangers. This has been News! As always, I hope you have a wonderful day.